Hello everybody, it is May 29th, 2023. I have to apologize again for missing Friday, but I've been having some very busy weekends recently, so luckily the action has not really warranted any additional videos or anything, so it doesn't really matter, and we'll just go over the action now. So last Monday I said it would look prettier with the move up to 27.5 to 28.6. That was my main expectation. And below 26.3, we may see a more direct move down instead. Right about that time that I was doing the video, Bitcoin had pumped up to about 27.4. So it was getting close to that area. And I was going on to like high alert for a dump to happen. But I said it may want to push higher first. And obviously, we've seen it push higher now. It has not surpassed that 28.6 yet. Hasn't even gotten, close to that 29K area. But so as of now, I'm still expecting that this is C of X happening in this area, and then we're going to proceed downwards. I did say that above 29K might change the picture, but it really depends on what the price action looks like. So I'm going to go over what that means as well, and we'll go from there. So taking a look at the price action here, here's that danger zone that I've had on here, 27.4 to 28.6, for this to be an X wave. And so basically this is our A, B, and now C wave up for X. It would have been nice for this to be ABC and a direct drop. Obviously, it's just been wanting to give us a hard time recently, so it's not really unexpected that we've seen so much chop. Everything has been really choppy, and nothing is broken still. Now the above 29 that I was talking about the only way that I would really consider that to be signal of a bottom would be if we saw something like this, which maybe if we get one more wave up, maybe it begins to look like 5 waves, but honestly this initial wave is not an impulse. Maybe it's a diagonal, but if we do get one more push up now that goes above 29K, I'll just have to be a little bit more cautious. As we come back down for a pullback, I will probably trim some of my shorts because I've been shorting this area, so I'd probably trim some of my shorts right around break even, basically on a pullback. It's possible it continues down because that's not a super convincing 5-wave move, to be honest. It's possible it could continue down, but I would rather kind of hedge my bets and maybe trim some just in case it does decide to take off from there. I probably would not look to long, honestly, unless maybe it was just a hedge position against my shorts. So main expectation still at this point for me is that this large WXY is playing out, which I've been talking about since, I don't know, beginning of May, pretty much, that, this hitting this yellow box would not hit this larger yellow box, and so it seemed likely that we would get that WXY down in order to get down a little bit further. So let's pretend for a moment that we've hit top there in that X wave, which I think is quite possible that we have, and we'll get a fib extension drawn here. If that is the top, then we are looking for probably the upper region of this box. Somewhere in here would be the ideal place for Y to go, with about 23.3 being the actual like 1.0 extension, the truly ideal place. Down to 22K is certainly a possibility. So I'd be looking about 22 to 23 and a half as my main expectation for a Y wave down. But what I'll be looking for is for this to continue forming as 3 waves. It should look like this, right? We should see that sort of thing happen. If we don't, if instead we see something that looks more like this, 1, 2, and then a giant dump down through the bottom of that, if we took any longs here, which I'm not sure that I will, but if we took any longs there, we'd want to get out of them on this because it's quite probable at that point that it would then make a fifth wave lower, and would potentially be going into the more bearish scenario in red or in orange, meaning we're getting down at least to like 12 to 14K and potentially much lower than that as well. So lots to keep an eye on. For now, the expectation is for this to continue lower from here. As I said, it's all been choppy. This happened on a Sunday. So sometimes, if we see Sunday action that happens like that, when trading actually opens back up again, because in the U.S., because trading's been closed, trading is still closed in the U.S. Today was a holiday. So we might, all of that being said, we might see a spike up to take that high out first before dropping. That is certainly a possibility. It's something to watch out for at the beginning of the trading week here, which starts for America tomorrow, this shortened trading week. And so, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not convinced of that. It certainly can, just proceed downwards as well. But just keep that in mind, that a lot of times that Sunday action has to get tested and even broken before it can actually go into the real move. Our 1 hour gives us a little room to do that. As you can see, the indicators are kind of, creeping up again though. So, if this only makes it up a little bit and it starts turning red on the PPO, then we may not get that spike in reversal. And the 4 hour honestly doesn't really support that. I mean, it certainly could, but these indicators are very overbought and have not really come down at all. So we'll have to take a look at where those 4 hour indicators are then, assuming we get into this yellow box. If we start seeing those bottom out, it may be a decent case for grabbing some longs in that area, potentially. But again, we'll just have to keep an eye on the action and use that as our guide, as always. All right, so I think that pretty much sums it up. Definitely looking for lower is my my main scenario still, at least that sort of 25 area, but potentially down as low as 22 in the bullish scenario. And again, I'm not convinced of that bullish scenario. I will just have to wait and see how it plays out. But I think 25, sub 25 is virtually guaranteed, or a very high probability. I don't like to guarantee anything, but very high probability at this point. All right, everybody, I will touch base with you. Honestly, probably not this Friday. I'm going to be busy again Friday. This should be the last Friday that I'm away and busy and not thinking about doing the videos. So if I don't do one Friday, I'll talk to you all again on the following Monday. All right, see you then.